I don't even want to touch that. So we just took off. Sorry, even though we're on pavement, the road is kind of bumpy. So we took off from Tucson a few hours ago, Friday night. We're looking to get out into an area that we haven't explored before, but have driven through, if that makes sense. It's basically right along the Arizona-New Mexico border, and we're gonna go down on a creek and see what we see. Yeah,
That's what we're gonna do.
woke up this morning out here in these beautiful volcanic hills next to an old corral. This particular spot is famous for fire agates. And right now I'm walking along looking for snakes. An old corral, which is really cool. I don't see any water, but last night we had quite a few insects, which, you know, even though I think it's May 1st, even though it's springtime here in Arizona, if we don't have winter rains, you don't get a lot of insects. But we had a ton last night. One actually went into Zach's ear and it was pretty crazy. I had to get a syringe out from the first aid kit and get that stinker out.
Yeah, interesting night. It got real buggy on us as we were sitting behind the truck having dinner, and I actually got a bug in my ear, and it was some exciting times for a few minutes, but I survived, and yeah.
I can see why there's so many insects here. It's kind of hard to see, but right here there's a pretty deep tank. It looks dry to me. But a very pleasant place to wake up. And now we're gonna head down to the river. All right, catch you in a minute.
Getting a little tough there at the end. There she goes. Bigfoot coffee. Oh yeah.
I smell coffee. Zach has made our morning brew. I was out for a little walk. Now the smell of coffee is enticing me home. Oh yes. There it is. Morning goodness.
This is Chase Creek Street in Clifton, Arizona, a town that was founded in 1873 and grew up based on the success of the copper mining operations in the area. Although you might not know it by looking at it now, this was once a thriving town in the early 1900s. It even had several opera houses and theaters along this row. Clifton was selected as the seat of Greenlee County in 1909, being the site of the county courthouse and jail. Clifton's had some hard times since the 60s, suffering several severe floods in 1972 and in 1983 that have led to the decline of its economy. In light of all its struggles, though, the town has somehow continued to survive, and about 3,700 people call Clifton home today. We'd find out later that Clifton was also the birthplace of feared Apache leader Geronimo. As you leave Clifton to the north, you begin to climb up toward Morenci, the company town owned by the mine.
I don't want to scare them too much. I don't know if you guys can see, but right there are some bighorn sheep. They're actually females. And there's one over here too, but so this town is famous for this. One of the reasons why we like to come here, because these guys just hang out. So there's a little family of bighorn sheep. It looks like mostly females. There's a few males over here to the right. I think they're mostly juveniles, but it's pretty funny that they're just here.
It's difficult to express the scale of the mining disturbance here. Morenci has the distinction of being the second largest mining operation in the world, and certainly the largest in North America, covering an area of approximately 2 by 3 miles. These haul trucks you're looking at here are some of the biggest in the world. They're as large as a 2-bedroom house and almost 2 stories tall. With 2,000 horsepower, they can carry 250 tons of ore in a single trip. One of the amazing things about Morenci, and something that surprises me every time I drive through, is the fact that a state highway runs directly through the center of the mine, giving you a unique look at something you probably don't see every day. With as much as there is to look at when you're traveling through Morenci, you have to keep a lookout for the sheep. They've become habituated and are not afraid to jump out into the road without any kind of warning.
All right, so we stopped at what's called the Bee Hill Cemetery. And some of these graves date back to the 1800s. Part of this mine, I believe, was established as early as 1830, or there were miners in the area as early as 1830. Also people building roadways and constructing railways. So let's go and check out some of these really old headstones and grave sites. down there, and there's this huge processing plant behind me. Those giant trucks hauling ore. A weird dichotomy, like this rather peaceful cemetery and then just all of this chaos right here. Kind of crazy.
With the mine behind us, it was time to make our way to the creek and hopefully put the truck into 4-low.
This is the sort of place where you get tetanus because you step on some heinous old nail.
If you've watched any of our previous episodes, you'll realize that stumbling across a mining shack like this in Arizona is not an uncommon occurrence. We explore these sites with a good degree of caution, never knowing the integrity of the building or what critters might be waiting for us inside. Stopping to take a look at these structures, though, always seems to have its rewards. You never know what little piece of history you might find.
Oh wow, this is really cool. It's an old scale. I would guess for weighing cattle. Fairbanks is the model or the brand name, but that one says, the top one says, I think 3,000 pounds, and the bottom one says, I think that's 8,000 pounds. It's hard to see through the camera. But that's really cool.
As we continued down the road, we began to see what we had hoped to find on this trip, some of Arizona's spectacular desert scenery. Of course we couldn't resist stopping at this old church ruin perched on the edge of the canyon. Despite our attempts to find more information on this church, none was available. But we have to assume it served the prospectors and ranchers that called this canyon home. This is the pump house complex that serves water to the mine thousands of feet above. We marveled at the thought of the amount of power that it must take to move that volume of water so many thousands of feet up and so many miles away. If you're viewing this back east, it might not seem so special to see this much green in one place. But in Arizona, it's certainly a rarity and something to treasure when you find it. If you've ever wondered about the truck's paint and why we have so many scratches on the sides, well, this is it right here. This is how Arizona pinstriping happens. Even after hearing that sound for years, I still cringe every time.
Like no matter where we go, it's always windy. So we're trying to set up camp down on the river, and it's super windy. But oh, is it beautiful! Really, really nice spot. I took a little swim earlier, woo, and the water is absolutely spectacular, nice and cool, everything that you would want. Zach is actually setting up the truck right now. Gonna have, I think, a windy night again. Do you like this place?
It's pretty rad.
What do you like about it?
It's very wild. It's sort of a hidden gem. I always like that.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah, it's on par with Erevaika.
I agree. I feel like it's pretty similar as far as the rock formations and the water and sort of the remoteness, especially a little further north. We had to come a little further south because there were quite a few people up there, but this is a great little spot.
It's not bad. We've seen some giant fish. By giant, I mean 16, 18 inches at least, no lie.
What kind?
To me, they look like bass, actually.
Bass, yeah.
And then
Or
little
did you
ones were
think they were
trout.
trout? Okay. Is this a bass hole?
This could be a bass hole.
Don't be a bass hole. Zach was just mentioning that there are a bunch of bats out right now. I'm rocking some serious allergies. I don't normally have issues when we go out, but something is blooming out here that is setting me off. I've got like, but look at this sunset. We had some lovely pesto pasta, and now we're gonna like tuck in for the evening. It's really, really beautiful.
So I wanted to give you a quick update here. We had a nice night, but unfortunately Rhuta's not feeling super good. And it seems like it's more than just allergies. So we're a little concerned, and we'll probably have to head home because I just don't want to be out here if things get a little worse. So yeah, unfortunately this is gonna cut our trip a little short, but I definitely want to show you what we got going on this morning before we head out. Although we hated to leave so soon, it was great to find another secret spot within a day's drive from Tucson. This place was full of history and surprises around every bend in the trail. I'm sure we'll be back soon.
What is this? What is that?
Oh my god.
I don't even want to touch that.
Is that some kind of food?
Oh my gosh, it's pine pitch. Smell it.
Oh my god. Where did that come? Oh, you got it because you thought it was...
It's copal.
Yeah.
But,
Man, that looked like some squished worm or like...
a mushroom?
A fungus.
Fungus. It's pitch.
Right, we had it in the vault. You picked it up. It was like a pitch ball.
Yeah. Now it's...
All right, well, that was fun.
All right.
The mystery of the fuel bottle fungus has been solved, folks.
It smells really nice.
Yeah. Our entire camp smells beautiful right now.